we need to do we need to do a top 10 games pretty soon of all time.
Like an
Maybe
updated top 10 games.
yeah,
of
maybe
all
skip
time.
the top 25 because that's a little harder.
Mhm.
But yeah, do a top 10. That could be.
My question that I keep thinking about is, does Tears of the Kingdom make Breath of the Wild redundant on the list?
For me, it absolutely does. Yeah, I think it would knock it off completely.
That's interesting.
I think
But
so.
you know what you can't make redundant?
What's that?
The memories.
Yeah, you're right.
The memories.
But see, I think and again, it was just a weird time in my life when Breath of the Wild came out, and I don't remember. I mean, I really liked the game. I don't know if I loved it. I don't know. Kind of thinking back at it now, I know when we did the list, I think it was like my number one, but looking back now, I'm like, but obviously that was before I played Tears of the Kingdom, so
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Tears, knocked off Breath of the Wild because I mean they're so similar, but it's just different in a better but different way.
Better but different way. So does Ragnarok make God of War redundant?
I don't think it does because I think the story in 2018 God of War was so good that it was like, I don't know, just like that perfect. Even though like yeah, it's still like a dad and son journey. I just seeing Kratos for the first time and like kind of a calmer mindset, but you could still see that he was struggling with the rage. Was very cool. So yeah, that's interesting. Because like Spider-Man 2, like I think I really love Spider-Man 1, but I don't think I could go back to that versus,
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think I could go back to Breath of the Wild.
And I probably could. I just
wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, not that I wouldn't want to, but when I'm making a list, I don't think Tears of the Kingdom necessarily like cuts out what Breath of the Wild did and how it plays and stuff like that. But when I'm just thinking about a top 10 list, I don't think it's fair to the other games
to have both of
them on there because they're so similar, I guess. I don't know, but then but I'm
tough.
thinking about
like, it's your top 10.
God of War, and I'm like, but I don't know if I don't know. Like and I'm trying to think, did I like 2018 better than Ragnarok? I definitely wouldn't want to have both of them on the list either. And I don't think like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 would even be on my list anyways, but I'm just trying to think of like the sequel scenario that we're talking about here.
Yeah. It's just weird thinking like, okay, Breath of the Wild was my number 2.
Because what was your number 1? Bloodborne?
Bloodborne.
Okay.
But then it wouldn't be on my top 10 because Tears of the Kingdom came out.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want. But
yeah, I mean, yeah,
that is an interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, yes, like technically, if Breath of the Wild is my number 1 and I like Tears of the Kingdom more, realistically it should fall to my number 2. But I don't know. I feel like those games are so similar. I don't know. I need to go back and play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, and it's like what are you stating by leaving both of them on the list? Like, we know you like Zelda, right? It's like, just pick one.
And then like Ocarina of Time I think is gonna make my top 10.
And that's a very different game. Like you can have a list of all Zeldas.
But then it's like, okay, I've got 3 Zelda representations and 2 of them are very, very similar.
Yeah.
I could do that, but I just feel like I want to.
That'd be like putting Skate 3 and Skate 2 on your top 10. It's like at a certain point, it's like
great games, but the sequel should always be an improvement of the original, the one that came before. And hopefully the story is better too. But sometimes the stories aren't.
And
that's where it like
2 versus 3.
Yeah.
BioShock 1 versus 2.
I don't know. Bioshock 2 story was pretty good, and I
Yeah, it
liked
was
it a lot.
good, but I still think 1 was
I
better.
think I like the story of Bioshock 1 better, but 2 played better. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't have to swap between, using the plasmids, you could just use both at the same time. So that's an interesting that's an interesting way to look at a list like that. It's like
And I've never thought
I've
about
never
that
thought about
until
that. I've
Tears of
never
the Kingdom.
yeah.
It made I saw an interesting tweet or post or whatever, and it said, if you take I can't remember how they phrased it. If you take Tears of the Kingdom out of Breath of the Wild, you still have Breath of the Wild. But if you take Breath of the Wild out of Tears of the Kingdom, you don't have much.
Yeah, I mean, but, like, it's a sequel to the game, so
Yeah.
if you take away the original, then, yeah, there's nothing there. Outside of well, I guess outside of, like but
I think they were just saying that Tears of the Kingdom didn't add that much to the experience, but it added the sky islands, the depths, the like entire like building mechanics.
yeah, the building
I think
mechanics,
that's
man.
pretty good for a sequel that is using the same
Yeah, but I
world.
mean, I get what that person's saying, but also in these these new age games where they're expanding upon the same world, like God of War or Spider-Man, yeah, like, you take away the original, yeah, there's not that much to the second one versus, like, back in the day with, like, Dead Space or Gears of War or something like that. It's like, yeah, there's nothing familiar about those games, setting wise for the most part, right?
Mhm.
They do
Yeah,
return to some of the same places, but it's not an open world. So yeah, I mean, I get the argument, but it's like, well, come on, they're expanding on an already existing world.
that's true.
So, but I get it. I get what I get what they're saying. But
But all that being said, we should do a top 10.
we should yeah
Yeah,
we
because
need to do
yeah,
a
we
top
haven't done
10.
one since pre-Elden Ring.
Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.